Leo on a Liddy boat. Where your baby go? This nigga gotta find a Nemo hoe. Here we go. Say she need a poke. I got a big ego. Why you toying with me? Calico. This nigga funny.
Okay.
Bro. Better finish your honeycomb. Select your visits from an unknown. Always hovering above my dome. Like me and my brother though. Try to be modest, but I got it honestly. Nigga been putting in work. But you gotta acknowledge the woman beside you when she ain't put on the skirt. Demographic of the people.
We back.
It's heaven after when we leave. Whatever happening to me, we might never actually agree.
Come on in, put your nines up. You already know what time it is.
No wonder we building pies with a team. As the realest guys in the scene. You know what I mean?
The ancestors don't play about me.
I suggest you keep the energy from all around me.
I can't wait to perform this for y'all.
The ancestors don't play about me.
We're gonna have fun with this one. Grand rising to the royal family, let's go.
Electric slide across the galaxy. Peanut butter, Wale, Pele, leather fit so magic.
Tag a friend.
Change, pyramid rings, we move accordingly. Most importantly, to my ancestors as they rest in peace. Connect with my peeps as I speak life through these melodies. What can I say? So long way from catching felonies, just trying to get paid and get laid. That be my therapy in the shade. Pink lemonade cigar, that energy. Rest in pieces to every one of my foes and my frenemies. I hear your little chats in case you think it don't get back to me. At this level up and these toxic fucks be my remedy. A headshot for you and your boys, we call that the Kennedy.
The ancestors don't play about me.
I suggest you keep the energy from all around me.
We back. We outside. It's Frequency Fridays.
Straight. No weakness. No weakness. We do muscle. Look at that.
One Blood is now available on all streaming platforms.
And you gotta work on your listening.
Grand rising to the royal family. Grand rising to the royal family. I'm glad that you are here with me this morning. You could be anywhere in the world, but you here. But you here though. Peace. I appreciate everybody for coming on. Before we get started, I want to shout out my first 9. First and foremost, the first 9 people that came on like we do every day. John Miles was the first one on. Shout out to him out of Long Island. Tristan Johnson out of Houston, Texas was next. Then we had Sonia Sunshine. You already know. Let the people know where you're from, Sonia. Then we got Lottie Billy out of Long Island. We got Charles Harris out of Miami. Jay Chiller First is in the building, got the 9s up. We also got Krishan Rogers in the building. Jades the Goddess is in the building. Big time supporter. You don't know. And we got one more, and that's Keith Coleman out of New Jersey. Shout out to Keith Coleman out of New Jersey. So if you don't know, out of you first 9 at the end of the show, you'll have the option to pick what song we're going to play as the outro to get on out of here. How's that sound? The Earthen Vessel says, One Blood been on repeat. I appreciate you. Do I. Oh, she so flies in the building out of Cincinnati. I see you. John Miles once again. Cynthia Lehner. John Miles said they about to steal all the artifacts. Listen, man. I missed y'all this week too, man. You know, we was on the road. We was on the road this week, you know, making it happen, doing what we do on the hip hop scene, on the underground conscious hip hop scene. So this week, I had the pleasure of traveling out to Vermont. That's where I just came back from the day before yesterday. So that's why you guys weren't able to see me. We were hanging out with Sarak. Shout out to Sarak and Soul Messiah. Showing love. You know, when you have like-minded people come into your space, into your state, you want to make sure that you support them. You know, we always talk about, how we want to change the music scene. We want to change what we're seeing as far as representation in film. All these different things that we request as Black people in this laundry list of, what we want to see in our culture. It's important that when you have an opportunity to support that which you want to see differently, that you come outside and that you go ahead and do that, right? Because many times we become what we call ambulance chasers, right? Where every time we see something wrong as Black people, we like to complain about it. But a lot of times we have the opportunity to be that light and to be that beacon and to support the things that we do want to see, but we just don't come out. And it's unfortunate that it's like that in our culture. We complain about what we hear on the radio. However, we all have the ability to log on now. You can go on Apple Music, Google Music, Apple Play, whatever it is, and stream, whatever you want. Whatever you want. So if you're tired of seeing a particular type of music or a particular genre on the forefront, guess who has the ability to change that? You're the only one that has the ability to change that. People. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we want, we can put on the forefront. So, anytime, we have people like that. When I see like the Erykah Badu's come around, or, just drop a few names, the Cyrox, or you see the Moo Freshes, or the Dead Prezes, or, those people that represent our culture. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that we pull up. You heard? And then when folks say, "Oh yeah, I ain't know they was in town," and that just means you ain't tapped in. That's all that means. You ain't part of, I bet you if Jay-Z was in town, Jay-Z was in. Huh? That little baby or one of them, all the little rappers y'all be wanting, I don't know what floats your boat, but I bet you if they was in town, so that's another thing, you want to attach yourself to the culture and be in the know, know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Get tapped in, to the culture and to the village, because it's a part of your lifestyle, right? The same way when we live in another lifestyle, we listen to a certain type of music all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you can't listen to that music, right? But in balance, ma'at, right? You want to support the real at the end of the day. So today's Frequency Fridays. On Frequency Fridays, we talk about, what happened during the week. But before we do that, let's get the frequency right. So grab your Tibet singing bowls. Let's get it cracking. Won't be before you long this morning. Charging up this water, baby. Make sure you get yourself a Tibet singing bowl if you ain't got one. Make sure you get yourself one. We have them available in the Lighthouse store. We'll have the link in the description. If you want to go ahead and screenshot the link, I'll flash it really quick. It's the link for the Lighthouse store where we do sell those Tibet singing bowls, the Lighthouse version. So you can go ahead and screenshot that now if you're interested in getting one of those, and you can log on to the Lighthouse store and get you one at another time. You can get it today if you want. Whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. Get you a ball. So, somebody said we have options now, no CDs and tape. That's correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got, listen, man, it's up to us to cultivate the culture. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about this stuff that's going on in Iran. With these protests. So if you don't know, there was a woman in Iran who was arrested for not wearing a hijab. Okay. And upon her arrest, 22-year-old woman, as you can see, beautiful woman. Upon her arrest, somehow in police custody, she woke up dead. Now, you know, time and time again, we've heard this story play out where somehow when a woman is violating or a man is violating some sort of law, they end up dead in police custody and we don't know why. And, you know, the reports are saying that she died of a heart attack at 22 years old. It's the best they got. It's the best they got. 22 years old. Heart attack. Okay. Now, I mean, I know our diets have gotten pretty bad, but I highly doubt this 22-year-old woman died of a heart attack. I just highly doubt it. To this day. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is where it's at. She's gone. So, as you can see from the mob of people, they're not buying it either. Not buying it. Her family insists that, you know, she was in great health. You know, as most 22-year-olds are, unless you were born with a terminal illness of some sort, she's perfectly fine. But she was arrested for not wearing her hijab and then ended up dead. So now, because of these protests, and you can see the mob of people that we have out here, because of these protests, they have sentenced 15 women. They have sentenced 15 women to the death penalty under the same law of not wearing a hijab. Now, if it's one thing, you know, many people say, you know, why you go so hard on religion? You know, why you seem like you're always coming for the head top? This is the number one reason why I come for religious organizations' head top. Number one reason. It's the oppression, and how they treat women. I just can't. You know, Iran is an Islam state, much like several states in Africa, right? And you know, when we look at Islam here in the United States versus how it is in the rest of the world, it's very, very different. And a lot of times, I think we get the two misconstrued. The leading force of what the culture is supposed to look like is when you see, you know, you can get a good gist of what the culture of a religion is like when they take over an entire country or they take over an entire state. And we can only judge a religion by the fruit that it bears. So when we look and we see a country such as Iran ran under an Islamic state, and they literally have women who are being sentenced to death because they didn't want to wear a hijab, to me, it's just insane. And there has to be some sort of correction that's brought to that. We can't have that. We cannot have that. We can't support that. In no civilization will that fly and be sustainable long term. And I think we all can agree upon that. To even shame a person because they want to actually have their face uncovered in public, to me, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. And then when you take it to the extreme of saying, because you won't do this, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Right? That's taking it to a level that I don't think that anybody should take it to. Right? Now, Joanne said that's a man-made law. It's not in the Quran. Maybe so. Maybe so. Right? And when you deal with a lot of religions, there's a lot of religions that have things that are in the culture that is not necessarily in the book. Right? But no matter how you look at it, it's not right. I don't care whether it's in the book or not. It's in the culture. It's in the culture. And a lot of times, do you think bust a nigga over the head and shoot a nigga in the back is in the police handbook? Huh? Do you think a sprinkle crack on the floor is in the police handbook? Don't even care. And a lot of times, this is what religious people try to do. They say, oh, that's just that person. That's just that particular church. That's that particular mosque. That's right? No, we can't play those games, because in the same token, when the police or the court systems do something to us, we can't just say, oh yeah, that's that particular policeman or police. No, the system is corrupt. And you got to be able to peep when a system is corrupt and call it out for what it is. The same thing that we're dealing with these Jewish rabbis right now. These Jewish rabbis. Right? I was looking at an article the other day where they arrested 17 Jewish rabbis. 17 Jewish rabbis. Huh? For corruption. All sorts of stuff. Okay? For rape. Raping little boys. This is all new news. Stuff that they've been doing, and they still been doing, and they still doing to this day.
To this day.
See what I'm saying?
To this day.
And that's exactly what it is. This stuff is systematic, right? Because when you look at it, right, and you see that it is happening over and over and over, this is not the first time, family. This is what we gotta keep in mind. This is not the first time that we've seen stuff like this, right? And this is the head. These are the rabbis. These are the people that lead flocks, right? These are the people that have entire temples, right, and run organizations. They create culture. So when you have the leaders participating in these type of rings, these sex rings, right, and trafficking of body parts, huh? Trafficking body parts, that's a whole different level of corruption that I don't think black people are ready for. I don't think we're ready to face that type of corruption. Okay? We're a civilized race of beings. Right? So to be tied to individuals like this who will literally violate and desecrate a body for money, and that's the culture of the people, I can't tie that into I cannot tie that into the chosen people. There's no way. You can't tell me that's a chosen people doing stuff like that. Right? Now they may have been born of a chosen people or whatever, however you want to call it. I don't know how they want to paint this picture. But those acts, we can only judge you by your acts. That's just wild crazy to me that this is actually happening. These are religious organizations that are preying on children, right? And then preying on the adults in a more adult way, Something's got to give. So when I see these different stories that run like this, I mean, just look at this. Dude's name is Pepper Pike. And he was arrested for allegedly exchanging sexual messages with an officer posing as a teen. This just happened in April. Okay? How can we allow this? He was talking to a 15-year-old boy on the social network. Could you imagine? Your son in there and your daughter in there playing Roblox, and there's a sexual predator on there, a whole rabbi, bro. Somebody highly influential. You see what I'm saying? These people literally are trained to manipulate, right? They're trained to transform the mindsets of masses of people. See what I'm saying? And a clip. Yeah, you should have known when his name was freaking Pepper Pike. I mean, come on, bro. Rabbi. You know, we can only play around with it for but so long before we have to put our foot down and say, you know what, enough is enough. Because the way that they, you know, you see how they doing Kyrie Irving, you see how they doing Kanye West, you see how they doing anybody that talks against their culture, their cultures, both these cultures, right? Whether you want to deal with Islam or Judaism, right? They try to jump you when you try to call out, you know, the stuff that you see that's going on. You know, at the end of the day, I say, you know, when you go into these jail cells, right? I know because, you know, my father was in jail damn near my entire life. And when you go into the side of these jail cells, the majority of these people are Christians and Muslims. Majority of people in jail, they're people devoutly tied into religion. And I wonder, like, how, if you really are tied into God like that and divine forces and the stuff that's civilized and, you know, attached to moral and ethical code, how do you end up here, bro? I need to know. How? Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Like, because when y'all got in jail, y'all was Christians and Muslims before y'all got in jail. You know, they said less than 2% of the population of people that go to jail actually convert to the religion that they go to. 2%. That means when you got here, you was a Christian or a Muslim. %. I already did the numbers. I knew that was coming, babe. 2%. Nope. It's not a lot. So the majority of the time, the people that's going in jail, right? Yeah, they went in as a Muslim or a Christian. They rarely convert. When we look at what happened with Brother Malcolm and you know, converting to Islam, you know, he was a one-off. That's not the collective. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we look at this, it's like the lifestyle. I mean, just look how it reflects in the real world from all of these different holy wars that have happened in the past, right? You know, between Islam and Christianity, you know, people are just sick of it. Like people are sick of it. We're sick of the wars. We're sick of people going back and forth over their belief systems. We're just like, how come everybody just can't leave everybody alone and let everybody do what they want to do as far as stuff like that, as long as they ain't hurting nobody? Like something as simple as putting a silk scarf on your head should never, ever get to the point where we're discussing somebody dying, especially a black woman. We should never get to the point where a discussion piece is now because you're not wearing this article of clothing, we should kill you. Because we've seen people who do far more heinous crimes in this world, right? And they still alive. They still alive. We can't kill portals. We can't murder whole portals because they don't want to wear what you want them to wear. That's just wild crazy to me. And if that religion stands for any religion that's going to try to do that, it needs to just be thrown in the trash. Just put it in the trash. It's not for us. It's not how we moving out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Our black women, we got locks, we got all this type of stuff going on. You talking about a hijab, bro? Like for real? It's crazy. At one point, it said that 15,000. Well, let's put it this way. They said 15,000 women were arrested.
To this day.
15,000 women total have been arrested.
To this day.
So when you look at that, you know, they're dead ass serious about what it is that they're trying to do. They're dead ass serious. And I think he believes 15 to 17 sentenced to death. So, you know, this is what's going on in today's news, what we got going on. And then, you know, because of these different wars that they got going on, I mean, I just heard that another bomb dropped and killed 2 people in Poland. So we're on our way to World War III. Congratulations. On our way to World War III because of that, dealing with Russia, and, you know. So, you know, I look at it, I see what's going on in the world, and for the most part, you know, minding my business has been really, really good for me this year. Because it'd be so much to actually try and digest. It's very hard to digest when you look at it. So, you know, I gotta mind my business. When I see people say I'm going to subscribe to that, you know what I'm saying? I just be, you know, that's what's up. You know? You know, when they come to me with that dipta, you know, or praise to the Most High, praise to Allah, you know, that's what's up, man. I support you. Go ahead. You know, when it hit the fan and they got your woman on the chopping block because, you know, her hijab fell off, you know, don't hit me up for the GoFundMe. I'm not finna do that. So, folks tend to reach out to the Lighthouse when they need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need that GoFundMe started, or they need some support from the community or the. That's when we trying to get them game and help them to level up their life, they try to act like they don't want to hear that. But then when they hit the fan, all of a sudden the phone start ringing. You know, if y'all having a good time this morning, make sure y'all smash that like and heart button right now. It's Frequency Fridays. We just chopping it up. We do what we want to do on Frequency Fridays. You know. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Kyrie and Kanye today. I don't want to do that. Talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And if there's any other news that y'all want to talk about, y'all can put it down here for these last 10 minutes. You know, what I will say also, you know, what I have been paying attention to, you know, is this takeoff situation and mob ties situation. I do want to speak on the idea of checking in, right? When you go from state to state, or, you know, in hip hop, there's this unwritten rule that when you go into certain spaces, that you should check in with the locals there, right? The ones that live in that city, and the ones that, you know, make things move and shake. Now, to me, in my mind, the idea of checking in, depending upon who you're checking in with, for the most part, is pretty much extortion when you really break it down. It's extortion. Because what happens is they say, yeah, you know, come check in with us, boom, 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 so that, you know, when you move around in this city, you move around in this state, you know, you'll be untouched, you know, because we kind of run this area. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we get all that, right? But at the same time, you know, once you check in, you know, who's to stop somebody from saying that you always have to check in when you come here? Like, how do you stop somebody when you don't want to check in, or when you feel like you're okay? You see, the idea of checking in is, you know, it's not just about getting paid. It's also about the connections that they're forming, because they want to be around wherever you going. So they want to be at all the parties, right? All the people that you link and network with, your secret relationships, they want to follow you everywhere you go. See what I'm saying? Because they're supposedly protecting you. See what I'm saying? But then what happens when you have beef or you have a situation or run-in with your protection. This is when it goes left. We're gonna talk about that, Joanne. This is when it goes left. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, John Miles, and they try to steal your light. That's what it is, right? They want to take your light, or see, the foundations of your light and try, see how they can somehow attach themselves to it and vertically integrate with you. And sometimes that's not what it's about. You just want to go in there and do your thing and serve the people, from that city and state that love and support you. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you don't even want to attach yourself to that at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you just want to move about. Like, motherfuckers, man, listen, I come to your city and state, you won't even know I'm there until I'm there. You feel what I'm saying? You niggas won't see no pictures till I'm on my way home. My ass. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of these people, they be corrupt and they just, they find different ways to get over and stuff like that. I do want to talk about this young lady, however, who got beat up by her friends, supposedly, right? Whew. Listen, yeah, you got to move in silence. I do want to talk about this lady that was beaten up by her friends. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of crazy. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I've been hearing mixed reports. I don't watch the news, so I'm probably totally off here. Allegedly, the person who beat her up was a tranny. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know how accurate that is, but I do want to talk about that. Because here's the thing. If a man was to assault a woman, right? Pretty big deal. Man goes to jail right away. Right? Pretty much. What happens if a tranny assaults a woman? Is it treated with the same zest and zeal? Is it treated with the same amount of shame that you would a man? Because here's the thing, a transvestite fighting a born woman, full-blown woman, is not a fair fight. Not a fair fight. When you're dealing with someone who has full-blown divine masculine energy, that's literally just, in some cases, covered up with clothing, the strength that being has compared to a woman is totally lopsided and unfair. Jennifer said in some states, a trans woman is seen as a biological woman. That's an issue. Because bottom line, that's the strength of a man beating on that woman. You see what I'm saying? And that's not right. You see what I'm saying? Somebody said she didn't even want to fight back. Why would she? They're supposed to be your friends, first off, right? Moral and ethically, a person, right, when you got love for somebody, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't fight back like that. You see what I'm saying? But then secondly, some women, it's like, yo, you fighting a full-blown man. You might as well just take this L, because there's no way. Just take this L, because you trying to fight back probably just going to make it worse. You might as well just let the person get out what they got to get out at that point when they beating on you like that. I'm sure she got to the point where she just gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's foul. Like the beating that I saw was just wild crazy. I'm like, yo, like, and the fact that somebody's filming this and folks is standing around, it's like, I don't know where we at, B. Like, you gotta watch who you say that you rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta watch your people. It was just too much. And y'all travel all the way to a whole nother country to do all this. See what I'm saying? And then and then they said the friend came back with the luggage. Came back with the luggage. See what I'm saying? That's just wild crazy. You know, to beat somebody like that, to that degree, you know, it's like I don't know. I could understand. I could see a friend going back and forth, boom, 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 and one person, you know, in the heat of the moment, smack somebody or like, you know what I'm saying, just like got totally out of hand and just did something violent. But when you just beating, and that person is just, you know, getting mollywopped like that, you know, that's not a friend. That is not a friend. And whether that was a man or woman, it's like, listen, nature don't care. You know what I'm saying? A man is gonna be a man, a woman's gonna be a woman according to nature. Like, we could care less what we want to label ourselves or what we say we want to be. Nature don't care about none of that. There's certain characteristics that come with divine masculine energy, period. You know what I'm saying? They come with that. And that's the part that you can't change. That's the part that nature has control over. And we can't act like that's not a man beating on a woman at this point in time. You see what I'm saying? We just cannot act like that's okay. No. That was just nuts. And, you know, I understand, you know, we don't know the particulars. You know, they said they found a body again? I just know they left her there. They left her there like on the floor. Like, I just know, you know, that level of beating is just over the top, way over the top. And I think it's been too many days where we don't know exactly, you know, what has happened so far. Like, I think that something like this should be on every news publication, you know. I mean, obviously it won't because they're black, right? But demographic that we live in, I think that it should be on every news publication, you know, and it's a conversation piece. What does it look like when a transvestite beats a woman? How do we rate that on the scale of injustice and, you know, moral violation? You know, yeah, and it could have been pure jealousy, you know, because here's the thing, you know, don't think that there aren't transvestites who have self-hate, and when they see a woman, a full-blown woman, right? Don't think that they aren't there as though that are out there that just hate women, right? They disguise it as friendship, right? They do all the yes, girl, yes, and they do all the twerk and they have you guys out here, but low key they really don't like you because they want to be you. To pretend as jealousy and envy it won't be an element there, you got to be crazy. You see what I'm saying? The whole they pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get fake breasts, fake asses, right? To have their genitals actually removed. You don't think they want to be you? You don't think that there are women out there that are transvestite women that are highly jealous to the point where they will kill you for what you got? That ain't nothing. See what I'm saying? That self-hate is real. So when she is beating on her, right? In her mind, she's destroying all the different labels of what she felt she was supposed to look like, or he felt he was supposed to look like growing up or be, right? It's internal. When somebody does that, it's like, I don't want to see what society labels as beauty. I want to destroy that because it's held me back my whole life. It's what kept me alienated my whole life. The fact that I didn't look like a woman. I felt like one, but I never looked like one. So it's going to take everything in me to destroy this. That's what I'm going to do. There are transvestites out right now in their mind. That's what's going on in their head. That's what's going on in their head, and they can't stand to see y'all with y'all natural breasts and y'all natural booties. They can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. It's, you know, especially y'all, you run around and you got your, you know, you got your girlfriend, you know, your homosexual girlfriend that you hang with. You know, a lot of women, black women do that, and they have the guy, you know, the gay guy they always hang with. You know, a lot of times they be jealous. They be jealous. That's why they playing you so close, because you the only one that's so naive. You giving them the time of day. Okay, they be jealous. You find yourself in that sticky situation. You know, so you know these are topics of the culture that's going to be brought to the forefront, and it's not going to be long. You know, I don't call myself a prophet, but I know this is coming. You know, this is going to be on the table, because eventually it's going to come down to that. You know, they're going to want to know what the collective mind state is when it comes to that. How do we deal with that? You know, specifically when a person can literally choose what gender they want to be and act on that any given time they feel like it. What does that look like? How? Because at some point, somebody, if we come in as judges, right? Somebody's got to judge what's going on. What do we say that they are, right? Does it come down to that, or does it come down to how they identify themselves, right? Because that means a person, a full-grown man, could say, you know what, I identify as a woman today. I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of somebody. I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of a woman today. What do we do with that? See what I'm saying? Because that's what we're opening the door for. If we let one get away, essentially we're letting them all get away. That's how it works in the court of. That's how it works in the court of law. That's how it works in the court of law. Somebody said they need their own lane. Pretty much. You're gonna have to create a whole, right? But then guess what creating their own lane does? Creating their own lane says we can all create lanes. We can all create lanes. You know what? I'm not male. I'm not female. I'm not transvestite. I'm not none of that LGBTQ, nigga. I'm just Jamaar, nigga. Like, I need my lane. So I could just fuck up whoever I want to fuck up. I could just beat up whoever I want to beat up. I need my lane. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when we don't have a set of guidelines, a moral and ethical code, a culture as a people, and we just allow anything. You see what I'm saying? You got to stand for something, or you fall for anything. So that means anything can come along. You see what I'm saying? Anybody can be anything at that point, and that we can't have. So essentially, they're going to establish some sort of protocol, some sort of standard that's coming in the near future very, very quickly. Mark my words, it's going to come very quickly. Won't be long, right? It's going to be clear cut. It's going to be clear cut, because they can't keep making different genders. Because by making different genders, you're essentially saying that there is no gender, and people can be whatever they want to be. See what I'm saying? If you're not going to apply it to science, science has a clear cut line, right? Science lets us know either you got a womb and you can make babies, or you don't, and it comes naturally, right? That's what science says. Right? That's how we differentiate. That's how we differentiate. Not even by the genitalia, right? It's, do you have a womb? That's the difference between a man and a woman, is the womb, right? Anything can happen to your genitalia, right? You can get your gonads chopped the hell off, right? It don't make you a woman. Do you have a womb? Okay. So, you know, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. But, you know, us as the conscious community, we are the forefront of what things are supposed to look like or not supposed to look like. We are the unkeepers, right? And we try to stick to the things that are going to sustain life. So, you know, when we see acts like this where people are being murdered and killed for their gender preferences, we have to, you know, say something about it. You know, we can't just allow that to happen and say, you know, whatever. That's their business. You know, something like that could definitely spill over to anybody, you know, and you can become a victim very, very quickly. So I will say that's something to look at. So in today's day and time, I would say this, family, you know, with all that's going on, and there's a lot going on, you can really choose anything. I will say, you know, be mindful of what you invest in this day and time at this period, especially going into this dark season of winter. Be very, very mindful of your diet at this point in time, right? We're going into Thanksgiving. We're going into the holiday season. And we'll probably talk about this a bunch next week leading up to the festivities. Be mindful of the holiday season and what your diet looks like, not just food, right? Your diet is also what you look at, what you read, what you listen to, right? Just be mindful of a lot of these things, because remember, when they push it out to you, there's always an agenda attached to it. It's never, just for face value. They choose these stories and what they want to show to you, and be mindful of that in this season, especially if you're going to be participating in the festivities. If you're not going to be eating right, it can lower your vibration very, very quickly, and you can get sucked in. You know what I'm saying? Sucked in. And I think as conscious people right now, I think the best thing we can do is learn how to respect others' opinions, right? We don't always have to formulate an opinion. We can say it just is what it is, and be very, very good at just minding our business. We can get very, very good at minding our business. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get ready to get on out of here. First nine, holla at me. What we gonna play as the outro? Shout out to everybody at First Nine. I give who was the first one on? First one on today that has the first pick is John Miles. What we listening to today, John Miles? Let us know. John Miles gets to pick the outro song for being first on deck today. So we're gonna wait for his joint, for his comment, for his suggestion. And if he don't hit us back in a timely fashion, we're gonna pick somebody else. But he said he want to hear One Blood, so that's what it is. We about to go to One Blood. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all for coming on. I hope y'all have a great weekend. And I'm gonna see y'all next week. Let's get tapped in. Go visit the Lighthouse store and support the movement. One blood, one blood, one blood.
Yo, bikini flow, Pinot Grigio, on a litty mo. Where your baby go? This nigga gotta find a Nemo ho. Here we go, say she need a poke. I got a big ego. Why you toying with me, Calico? This nigga funny, mo. Better finish your honeycomb. Selection visits from a unknown. Always hovering above my dome. Like me and my brother though. Try to be modest, but I got it honestly. Nigga been putting in work. But you gotta acknowledge that woman beside you when she put bullet in the skirt. Demographic of the people thinking that it's heaven after what we need. Whatever happening to me, we might never actually agree. We spitting knowledge in degrees, revealing minds in the dream. No wonder we building pies with a team. As the realest guys in the scene, you know what I mean? The ancestors don't play about me. One blood, one blood, one blood. Oh, 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 oh. I suggest you keep the energy from around me. One blood, one blood, one blood, one blood. The ancestors don't play about me. One blood, one blood, one blood. Oh, 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 oh. I suggest you keep the energy from around me. One blood, one blood, one blood, one blood.
Electric slide across the galaxy. Peanut butter, Wale, Pele, leather fit so magically. Unchanged, pyramid rings, we move accordingly. Most importantly, to my ancestors as they rest in peace. Connect with my peeps as I speak life through these melodies. What can I say? So long way from catching felonies, just trying to get paid and get laid. That be my therapy in the shade. Pink lemonade cigar, that energy. Rest in pieces to every one of my foes and my frenemies. I hear your little chats in case you think it don't get back to me. I just level up and these toxic fucks be my remedy. A headshot for you and